Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Paul, the Canadian Snowman, here with another video. This one was basically requested from you guys. I did a video on the Queen's Power and had great feedback. That the video actually has done very well, surprisingly, because I just did that one on a whim. And a few of you requested me to do this one, and I said I've been wanting to do it for a while. I've just, I didn't have a whole lot of spare time, and been caught up in my other series. But yeah, today I was like, I have some spare time. Oh yeah, well, that's the video I want to do. Because the other times I have free time, I'd forget. But yes, Canadian love the Queen. I'd love to meet her one day. I know that's obviously something that would never happen. Because I'd love to go visit, over there and for vacation and stuff. I think it'd be really cool to check out the castles and just all the cool stuff that you guys have over there. And like I didn't know what picture to put for the Queen over here below. So I was like, she's on a lot of like our Canadian money. So I was like, I'm gonna put a $20 bill of the Queen. So there was no real science behind me picking that as image. But anyways, it's be very interesting. It's also kind of very sad, I'm excited to see what would happen, but I'm also not because I really hope she does live for like at least another like 20 years or so. It'd be kind of cool, like when I do go, because I'm definitely going. I just don't know when, because it's not going to be within the next couple of years, but eventually I will, and it'd be cool, if she was still, kicking it and stuff like that and stuff, because I know that's going to be like a sad day in the world, whenever the day comes. And even talking about death and that kind of stuff, you feel uncomfortable. You kind of talking about it just because you just never know. And that's what I guess kind of with anybody. But yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I don't like I said, like it's probably like top couple of people I'd love to meet, and just because I don't like she's not really a celebrity, she's the Queen, it's not like it's a celebrity on some TV show, it's the Queen, she's very old and has a lot of history, she's been through a lot, and like I've never heard heard people say about anything negative about the Queen. Like the decisions I know, like she has made seem to be spot on. Like she's not in a rush just to jump the gun to get into a war or anything like that. She seems like she's got a very level head and really cares, about, her her country and, the other countries like the Commonwealth that look up to her and stuff like that. So it's definitely going to be a very sad day. I'll be glued to the TV when that day happens, trying to, because I know the whole world's going to stop and there's going to be a huge, the funeral's just going to be crazy and well deserved. So definitely, so I guess I ramble on enough. Just get into the video. I know this is unrelated, but I think it'd be cool because, like, to meet the Queen, it'd be cool. Like, does she like knight people? Because the Queen can make someone a knight. Is that like a thing? Because that'd be so cool. It's like you call yourself sir. Sir this, or I don't know. Just be called knight. I don't know. That's like off topic because it's just really cool. I find the Queen and like the monarchy very fascinating, and yeah, you guys definitely got going on over there. But let's jump into this video, guys. Before we do, please hit that like and subscribe, guys. It helped me out a lot. I appreciate it. And yeah, let's do this. And well, middle of doing World War One videos right now. If you guys want to check that out. All right, full screen ahead. Here we go. And play.
After nearly 66 years on the throne, Queen Elizabeth II is the longest reigning monarch in British history and has been a constant and calming force amidst the fast-paced changes her country has faced, making it even more inconceivable to think about what happens when she dies. Born in 1926, she was expected to live a relatively normal life. Well, normal at least by royal standards. As third in line to the throne, spending most of her early years out of the public eye. Everything changed in 1936, when her uncle, King Edward VIII, abdicated the throne. In order to
I did know this part because I watched the first season of The Crown. I have not. I think I started on the first episode, maybe, of the second season, and I guess I'm assuming the first season. I'm assuming that stuff is accurate in The Crown. I mean, you guys can let me know in the comments below. You know, if I can continue on that series, how accurate it actually is, because obviously it's a TV show, so there could be a lot of could be some changes, just for the drama of the TV, so guys can always let me in the comments below, because obviously I don't know, the history as much as you guys overseas there, so maybe you guys let me know on the accuracy of that. Anyways, back to the video.
when her uncle, King Edward VIII, abdicated the throne in order to marry his true love, Wallis Simpson. You see, back then, marrying a divorcee, not to mention a two-time divorcee, was a huge faux pas to the Church of England. And just like that, Princess Elizabeth's father, King George VI, ascended to the throne, making her the next in line. And by 1952, following his death, her time arrived, and the rest is history. When the Queen ascended to the throne in 1952, she was a head of state in 7 countries. The size of the Commonwealth has since expanded to 53 countries, comprising nearly 1/3 of the world's population, and still includes 16 countries where the monarch is officially the head of state. This brings us to Operation London Bridge, the plan that no one will.
That's just so awesome, like the power. I mean, obviously, she doesn't really have power, but it's just kind of cool, like, head of state, just the reach of the Queen. It is so cool. Like, I'm Canadian and I'm proud to have, like, her as, head of state and all that. So I just think that's the coolest thing ever, So, anyways.
State. This brings us to Operation London Bridge, the plan that no one wants to talk about, the plan for what happens when the Queen dies. No matter how secretive Buckingham Palace may be about the plans that surround her death, everyone knows exactly what to do, and the plans, which were uncovered by The Guardian, are complex, intricate, and timed out to the exact minute. Phase 1, D-Day. According to The Guardian, on the day the Queen dies, Edward Young, the Queen's private secretary, will be the first official to convey the news, setting Operation London Bridge into full gear. And at the exact moment in which she passes, Prince Charles will become king, and Camilla will become queen-ish. We'll explain that a bit later. On a secure line, Young will directly inform the British.
I'm sorry about pausing this, but I like to get while I hear these points. I want to say them before I forget. I always heard like rumors that it was going to be like his son going to take over, like he was going to skip over, let his son take the throne. But I think that's just rumors, right? I'm sure you guys can let me know in the comments if that's like not a thing or whatnot. So, but I've heard things like that.
Prime Minister that London Bridge is down. And the news of her death will be distributed to various heads of state before it is disclosed to the general public. Once the Prime Minister is alerted, the Foreign Office's Global Response Centre will alert the 15 governments where the Queen is still considered the head of state. From there, the 37 nations where she still serves as a political figurehead will also be informed. After this, the announcement of her death will be shared with both the UK's Press Association and the rest of the media outlets across the globe. Outside the palace, the news crews will be able to assemble in a predetermined area next to the Canada Gate. The same message will appear on the palace's website on a dark background. All the flags at the palace will be lowered and bells will toll. Both houses of Parliament are expected to gather within hours of her death. And on the evening of his mother's death, Charles will make his first address to the public as king. Now, all of this is assuming that she dies in London. If that's not the case, here's how things will play out. Scenario 1. If the Queen...
Okay, like I said, I'm fishing for information from you guys because I like to know this stuff, and you guys, I'm sure, know all this stuff already. So, but uh, how often because I know the queen's getting up there in age. How often, like, does she like leave the country to kind of go visit other countries right now? Because I'm assuming probably not as much as she used to. And but I'm just so curious, how often that might be, for like how what are the odds of this actually happening to her and being abroad?
If that's not the case, here's how things will play out. Scenario 1. If the Queen dies abroad, the royal equivalent of Air Force One will fly a coffin to the location of her death, accompanied by the royal undertakers, and return the Queen's body to London. Scenario 2. If the Queen dies at her Sandringham estate in Norfolk, her body will return to London by car a few days after she passes.
Wow.
Scenario 3. The most intricate scenario of all is if the Queen passes while at the Balmoral Castle in Scotland, where she spends 3 months a year. Scottish rituals will play out before her body returns to London. Phase 2, D-Day +1. Flags will be raised the morning after her death, and at 11 a.m., Charles, the eldest male descendant of Queen Elizabeth, will be proclaimed king. At this point, Charles has waited longer than anyone else in history to assume the throne. Phase 3,
Wow.
D+1 through 12. Following the first 24 hours after her death, Great Britain will enter a 12-day mourning period, culminating with the Queen's funeral. King Charles will tour the country, stopping in Edinburgh, Belfast, and Cardiff to appear at services to honour his mother. During this time, he will also meet with various elected leaders. D+1, Westminster Hall will be closed for cleaning. Elaborate and lavish funeral preparations will begin. D+4, the coffin will be moved to Westminster Hall during a procession that is expected to take place throughout London. When the coffin arrives, Big Ben will chime. Her body will then lie in state for 4 days. The Queen's orb, scepter, and the imperial crown will be placed on her coffin, and visitors will be allowed to pay their respects for 23 hours a day. D+9. In the
Nice.
early hours of the morning, the jewels will be cleaned before the funeral begins. Daily life will come to a halt in London. Businesses and stores will be closed. Big Ben will toll at 9 a.m. on the dot, and the bell's hammer will be covered with leather so that the bell rings in muffled tones throughout the remainder of the day. D+12.
Wow.
Her coffin will then be moved into Westminster Abbey, and the funeral will begin by 11 a.m. While the media will be allowed to film the services, the faces of the royals will not be shown during prayers. After the funeral, the same carriage that carried her father will return her body to her final resting place at Windsor Castle. It's an understatement to say the Queen's death will mean huge changes for the House of Windsor. As previously mentioned, Prince Charles will become king. So what happens to Camilla? Most royal experts believe that the Queen's death will technically make Camilla the Queen consort, but any speculation about her title is just that. King Charles will ultimately make that official decision. The Queen's death will move Charles's eldest son, Prince William, the Duke of Cambridge, up in the line of succession to heir apparent. After that, William's 3 children will fill the line in their birth order. This includes his daughter. Thanks to a 2011 vote by the British Commonwealth, Princess Charlotte will be second in line, following her big brother George. So what does this mean for Prince Harry, Charles's youngest? Back in 2013, before the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge had children, Prince Harry was 3rd in line to the throne. Now, Prince Harry is 6th, followed by any children he and Meghan Markle may have.
Okay.
And last but not least, there's Brexit. The truth of the matter is that the monarch has little to do with the UK leaving the European Union. But considering all of the change that will come from a departure from the EU, the monarchy may be the last standing and the most stable institution left.
That's sad, man. I hope the market goes on forever. Like, I hope, it's not, because I know other countries, it just kind of like disappeared, it just stopped it. I just, as far as like tradition and all this kind of stuff, I think it's just really great. I wonder, like, worldwide, how, like, if there will be any changes, because, the Queen's been alive for a long time, and, like, I just, like, I know, like, the money's gonna change, right? And it's just not going to be the same, with it, or it's just not going to be the same. And no disrespect, well, to her son and everything, but it's not going to be the same. It's going to be a sad day for sure. Like I said, I'm sure all businesses are going to be closed. I'm not sure for how long. Because I remember like being a kid, when Princess Diane died and seeing all that footage on TV, and that was crazy. This, and I think this is going to be even crazier. It's the Queen. You know, like I said, most people alive haven't known any other queen, so this has been their queen like their entire lives. So yeah, it's going to be really crazy, and but I hope this is not for many more years to come. Uh, Let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments. But your feelings on the queen and stuff like that. You know, I really like her, really love her, I really appreciate her. I think she's awesome. That's just me, honestly. And so, yeah, thank you guys for watching once again. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys, see you guys in future videos, and definitely interesting stuff, and it's wow, like they got it by like the minute on all those plans, man. It's like it's so sad. It's almost like I don't know. It's like they're not waiting for it to happen, but they are. But I mean, that's just going to be just crazy, just trying to get all that stuff done on time, especially you know, eh, depending on where she passes away. But anyways, I'm fumbling with my words. I appreciate you guys. Please hit that like and subscribe, guys, if you haven't yet. Please do. And I'll definitely catch you guys in future videos. Thank you for watching, and yeah, peace.